This is Sway.
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 In the morning.
In the morning.
In the morning.
Shay 45.
Wake your fuck ass up.
That's it. Sway in the morning, Shay 45, 8 minutes past the top of the hour. Citizens, I've been saying all day is Thursday, which is Friday Eve in our book, The Sway in the Morning. Yep. And every single Thursday we do First Date with Kelly Kinkaid. We got something special going on today. We even have people from other floors sitting there because they're so excited. They never visit us, citizens, but they're here today because of the guests that we have. Kelly, do the honors.
I'm really excited, citizens. Today we have a New York Times bestseller.
Three times.
Did he just stun?
Yeah, he's a stunner. he's many things. You know, one of the things that I wanted to just, if I had to explain this guest, the one word would be dynamic.
Woo!
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
You know, we have Gary Vaynerchuk. Ask Gary V.
I like the clap.
You know, it was very important to have you on, and I have to give credit to young Tracy G, who is very ecstatic about you, and she put me on to you. And while I was prepping for you coming to the show today, it's all divine order. And you uplift a lot of people. You write books. You're an entrepreneur. He has VaynerMedia. He started off with Wine Library. For all you entrepreneurs and people who have business, he took a company after graduating from college, his father's company, from $3 million to $60 million in a matter of how many years?
5.
Yeah.
Come on.
And it was important for First Date, because we talk about mind, body, and soul, to bring you here about branding, because we have a lot of people who are truck drivers, professionals, homemakers, who are wanting to better themselves. And that's what this segment is about. I wanted to welcome you, Gary Vaynerchuk. Good morning.
Thank you. Good morning, guys. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so, you know, we're still at the top of the year.
Yep.
It's still the beginning of the year, and it's all about elevating a better you. And it was important.
Can I say one thing on that?
Sure.
Can we stop making that a January thing?
It doesn't have to be, right?
Let's elevate in July. Like, what's wrong with August? Right?
November,
like, August
December.
is good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, like everybody uses, like, I'm going to lose weight this year. I'm going to make some more money. Da-da-da-da-da. I mean, that should be happening always.
Absolutely.
24/7.
Absolutely. And I always have a lot of people say, well, I'm going to wait until when I get this together, I'm going to then do it. And I was like, why not maximize now?
Because they don't want to.
Yeah.
Because everything good takes work. And the truth is, work's hard. And the truth is, people don't want to work.
Absolutely.
It's the one thing we can really control, right? Like, out of all the books, the new book, the last book, all the videos, the show. Listen, the talent that you're born with is the talent you're born with.
Right.
I mean, that's just the truth, right? Like, I wish I was 6'9" and jumped like a gazelle and could dunk on people's faces at Madison Square Garden every day. I wish that happened. It didn't. What you can do is maximize the things you've got.
right.
Maximizing the things you've got takes work. And I don't, you know, and it's the one thing that everybody that's listening right now, I feel like you have control over, right? You can't control that you were prettier. You can't control that you were more athletic. You can't control that you were smarter. You can control your work. Like, put down the controller, stop playing Madden, stop binge watching 8 hours of House of Cards. You don't, you know, if you do that and you put in work into something, and if you're lucky enough to be self-aware and actually know what you're good at, there's a big difference between the people that know what they're good at and the people that wish they were good at something.
And Gary, so a lot of people, I know that you make good money.
Yes, a lot.
And in addition to owning a company, you do keynote speeches.
Yep.
But here's what I wanted to find out. There's a lot of successful businessmen. One of the things you did, you took social media and made it work for you, because you started with Twitter at the beginning at 2007, correct?
Correct.
And how are you able to maximize that and merge it with everything that you're doing?
So I suck. Can I curse here?
Come on, boy.
It's Shade 45, yeah.
Beautiful. So I suck shit at 99% of things. Like, I'm real bad. Like, I was a shit student. You know, I got D's and F's. Like, real, not C's like my friends think when I say D's and F's. Like, real D's and F's. You know, I can't sing. There's a lot of things I'm bad at. The one thing I'm real good at, and it will be the foundation of all. It is the foundation of all my success, and it's the reason that I think I can go to the moon. Is I understand people, and I understand what people are gonna do before they are actually going to do it. Right now, there's a ton of people listening who are 30, 40, 50, and they think they'll never be on Snapchat, right? They never even heard of it, or that's what their younger brother does, or their 12-year-old, 13-year-old daughter does it. They don't realize that they're going to get sucked into it. I know they are, so I'm producing content on it now to be a leader. That's what I did with email marketing back in Listen, when I launched WineLibrary.com, it was 1996. People were still debating if the internet was a fad, right? Like, people were like, that's a fad. When I was doing email marketing, people didn't know what email was. When I started a YouTube show, it was 4 months old. There wasn't a single video on YouTube that had 1 million views yet. Nobody knew what it was. But what I'm good at is I'm like, that's good. You know, using the music industry, I met Clive Davis at a Knicks game, and I was like, how'd you know when you saw, and he's like, there's no real way to explain it. Like, I listen, and I just think everybody's gonna like it. And that's how I look at technology.
And you've said in different speeches, the most important things are family, health, money, and what connected with me was time. How do you find time to do all those social platforms?
Because I don't bullshit and fucking watch 4 hours of dumb shit on TV.
Right.
Like, because I don't, in the middle of my day, there is no somebody comes over and goes, yo, you got to check this funny video on YouTube. I don't have those 4 minutes.
Right.
To watch like somebody get dunked on.
What are the
You know,
platforms?
like, I don't have it.
What platforms should everyone have? Because I don't have Snapchat
Well,
and
you better
Periscope.
fix that.
I know.
You better fix Snapchat right now, because if you want people listening to this
Right.
in 4 years or anything else you do, you need to figure out Snapchat yesterday.
So we have Twitter.
Yes.
People should have Twitter.
Yes, but that one's, if you're watching carefully, Twitter's starting to lose its attention. And there's no normal 12 to 18-year-old that gives a crap about Twitter. And that's going to play out over the next 5 years.
Instagram.
The most important platform right now at scale, 18 to 45 in America. You have to be on Instagram if you want to talk to the world, if you want to put out content, if you want to. Look, let me take a step back before we go through these platforms. And I'm pointing to the phone for everybody listening. This is the television now. This is the most important screen. And Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube, that's ABC, NBC, CBS, MTV. And then we are the hit shows, right? We're MASH, we're Seinfeld. We've got to, as individuals, put out content on these platforms. Otherwise, nobody's going to hear us.
Okay. So all those people who are interested in starting a business and have a question, please give us a call. And Gary, when I wanted you to think about this question.
Go ahead.
How giving people a platform for the Snapchat, Facebook, and Instagram. Give us 3 tips of how to grow our businesses when we come back.
Okay.
Up next, 888-742-3345 is Sway in the Morning. First Aid with Kelly Kinkaid, Shade 45.
Kinkaid on Shade 45.
Yep, Sway in the Morning, Shade 45. Citizens, it's Thursday. That's the day we do First Aid with Kelly Kinkaid. And we just try to get you better on all forms of life, whether it's physical, mental, spiritual. Guess what? Digitally, we have now stepped into the world of digital improvement.
Yeah.
And Kelly brought in a guest today by way of Tracy G. And Kelly.
We have the amazing Gary Vaynerchuk. He has a new book coming out next Tuesday, March 8th, called Ask Gary V. And I was asking you about that. Like, what is this book about?
This is the 360 blueprint for entrepreneurs and executives and just people about how to navigate through the current state of what's happening now. When it's funny, you said now we're going digital, and I was laughing while you were saying, I'm like, fuck, digital is what we do.
Yeah.
Like there is no digital it's like oxygen. There's no going back.
Yeah, it's no going
like just
back.
so everybody who's listening, like if you're sitting at home right now and you're like, oh, I wish there's no more. It's gonna be like it used to be.
Right.
It's gonna go worse. We're gonna live in virtual reality. You guys are gonna do this. You're gonna do this show in 15 years. Laying in your bed, thinking you're here.
Oh, please speak it into existence.
Wow.
The good news is I'm not hoping or predicting. It already exists. It's just the internet in 91, 92, 93, 94. It'll take 10 to 15 years,
Right.
But you will literally be sitting in your couch. Everybody listening, just understand, what is it, 2016? In 2031, you'll be sitting in your couch, you're going to put some contact lenses on, and your brain will 99% believe that you're walking around in Paris.
That's my favorite city, so okay. I like that. I like that.
But you know what's funny? I know a lot of people are listening and saying, what? If you spoke to somebody in 1990 Mm-hmm. You know, this is pre-CDs.
Right,
This is when we had
right.
cassettes, right? And you said, let me show you the internet in 2016. Phones, music, like, they wouldn't have been able to wrap their head around it.
Right.
Like, you just wouldn't. I mean, you know, looking around the room, some of us remember pre-internet. Remember pre-internet?
Absolutely.
Like, there just was no internet. And so, like, and now you're spending 8 or 10 hours of your attention in there. You're living in there. So digital is all encompassing.
All encompassing. 888-742-3345. You want to say what up to Gary? Please do so now. Hey, Jason, guess what? You calling in from Salt Lake City. I'm sorry.
Utah?
Say what's up to Gary V.
Hey, what's up, Gary? How you doing?
Phenomenal.
Nice.
How
Hey,
are-
man, I appreciate all of your work that you do and the value you provide, and I've read all of your books. You're freaking killing it.
Thank you, brother. You didn't read the new book yet.
Right.
No, not yet, but I've got it on its way.
How many?
I think I've got.
Tell the
I think
truth,
I've just
don't
got
lie.
2 right
Right?
now.
Okay. How about 4?
I could probably step that up. I'm doing a signed edition through Barnes & Noble.
I appreciate it, but how about 4?
Yeah, I could step that up.
Bam, Andy, you see that? 2 more. 2 more sold. You hustle. Jason, thank you so much,
Jason,
man.
you're a citizen of Sway in the Morning. Let's go to Ingrid. Ingrid, hello. You calling in from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. You
books.
starting a business?
Yes, I'm starting a public assistance firm, and I want to do it digital so that if you're sitting on a plane, you can order somebody to pick up your
Luggage?
your laundry or your whatever, just digital.
So what? You're going to build an app?
Yes, I want to build an app where you can go online. It's basically the whole platform is app where you can go online and say, hey, I need someone to pick up my cleaning.
So-
I need someone
So let me
to
ask you a question.
plan a party.
Let me ask you a question. Do you have a technical co-founder yet?
No, I haven't. That's the thing. I'm sitting here building now, trying to figure out how do I go about it.
So you need to go to meetup.com.
Yep.
Meetup.com. There's where do you live? Where are we talking?
Milwaukee.
There's definitely
Yeah.
meetup groups in Milwaukee that are developers. You got to type in web developers, app builders. You need to find. Everybody's going to call with an idea. Ideas are shit unless you execute it.
Right.
So you
Exactly.
you need to actually build that app. The way you do that is you find a co-founder who wants to do it, and they'll build it for you, and then you've got a shot. Because just mapping it in your head or calling the radio and say, this is what I'm going to do, is not going to make it happen. So you have to go to meetup.com, go to these nerd hangouts, and you find the nerd you like the most and ask them to build it.
Gary, you were talking about putting value first for customers. And for someone who's starting up a company, instead of tweeting, hey, check out my company, what's a better way for people to draw attention?
So that exact example, what we heard from her, if she went to twitter.com/search and she searched traveling or laundry or other things she said, she would see lots of people saying, damn, I can't get to my laundry. And she could start engaging and talking to them. Instead of selling her thing, you can engage with people and act. It's all about listening, right? I'm sure you guys think about that. Like, what makes you guys good at what you do, right? You have guests come in, you could talk, but if you listen and then you react to what they say and then ask, right? You're building, right?
Exactly.
So the way you guys roll in what you do for a living, that's how I roll as a businessman. Of course I want to sell books, and I'll get silly with Jason, who's already bought all my books, and go
Right.
silly and say, buy 2 more, because I know I already got equity with him, right? Right now, let's think about what Jason did. Jason's living his life in Utah. He saw my social shout out, or he was listening, and he's
Right.
a fan. He took time, the biggest asset, and he called, and he was willing to wait on the line and then get on. He cares. So I can joke with him because I've already won because I brought him value.
right.
Elite, she's been holding on the line as well. Good morning. You're calling in from South Carolina. Say what's up to Gary V. You have a question?
Yes. What's up, Gary V? I definitely took advantage of the Super 8.
Thank you.
Enjoyed the live stream. Bought 8 books. I'm passing them out to all the leaders of my organization. We are in a MLM company called Total Life Changes. And I guess my question is, I know you're not too hot on network marketing, but passing that book out, the Ask Gary V, the questions and answers in our book, and the MLM building organization, what value or what benefit are we going to have from having that book?
So I think anybody in any business is going to get to see what are the different. So I talk a lot about self-awareness. I talk a lot about empathy. I talk a lot about gratitude. I talk about work-life balance. I talk about parenting. So there's a lot of tactics, Elite, in there, what you should do on Facebook, Twitter, Periscope, Instagram, Snapchat. But then on top of it, it's really that higher level thinking of, okay, not only here's how you can do it, Why are you doing it? What are other ways to do it? It's just a much deeper thought process because it's like 300-400 questions and answers. It's super tactical of both the tactics and the religion, right? It's like, here's the religion, and here, go to church on Sunday. Got it? It's both.
Right. Citizens, you're listening to Gary Vaynerchuk. He's an author, entrepreneur, a keynote speaker.
Diehard Jets fan.
We already had an argument about that one.
Yeah, Tracy, you wanted to ask him something?
Yeah, I have a freaking like mountain pile of questions.
Pick one. Trace.
All right.
Pick two.
Okay.
I'll go fast.
Okay, going back to Snapchat, right? I
Yes.
freaking love Snapchat. My only caveat is that it rapes the shit out of my battery power.
Yes.
But for a lot of folks, like you were saying, some people are still in their 30s, 40s, 50s who are just averse to it all.
Yes.
One of our coworkers, I was having a conversation with him. He doesn't understand how it goes into conversion, how it can really bubble his brand, how it can bring him profits. Can you talk about best practices on Snapchat?
He's clearly thinking about marketing from a direct response, click attribution, tactical standpoint. That's like saying I don't get what being on TV all the time does for my business. Because nobody's clicking from their TV and buying Kelly Ripa's book. So what he is you tell your man that he's basic thinking. He's thinking one chess move. It's called branding. There's two separate things. One's called branding, one's called sales.
Right.
He's talking sales. That's one step, right? You go on Google, you buy an ad, you click it, you sell. That's a sale. But branding is different. What does Taylor Swift get out of like surprising a fan and bringing them on stage? She didn't
More
get a
fans.
transaction. Nobody touched the screen and bought her album. She built brand. It made you think something. Like, so they're thinking too basic. Snapchat, I have 30,000 people watching every one of my Snapchat stories. Right? I snap me walking into here. They didn't click it and bought my book, but I'm painting a narrative of my life. They're becoming interested. And then when I ask for it somewhere else tactically, so I'm playing chess. And I think your man's playing checkers.
So what about somebody like me with Snapchat? We joked about it before while we were playing music. Snapchat reminds me of college years because I feel like
college years. Go there.
College.
You didn't say college years.
Well, you know what I'm talking about. I don't want to. I keep
real
bringing it
world,
up. The real. It reminds me of fucking real world,
Of
Gary.
course. Because that's what it is. I mean, if you look at what people are putting, Snapchat's winning because it did something different for us. If you look at Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, it's got a lot of similarities. Snapchat's a whole different narrative. Everybody's got to be a storyteller. And when you've got to be a storyteller with a phone, it's just so authentic. It's so much more real. Just like what you were a part of changed television forever because it was a whole different genre of authenticity. And and we've come to learn that reality TV isn't 100% reality, but it's a shitload more reality than Seinfeld or MASH, right? And so that's what Snapchat's done. It's so much more real. It's the way that person is usually looking at the world. It's very authentic.
One more.
Gary, when you were talking about Snapchat, though, all the platforms, what about those people who feel the introverts or the people who like their personal life private?
Keep your life private. Like, by the way, guys, there's plenty of people making millions of dollars by not putting their lives on the internet.
Facts.
You can build a lot of business. Like, if you're an introvert and you don't like people, then don't do it.
That's
Boom.
simple.
I love when people come up to me like, Gary, this is all fucked up. Like, I don't want to do it. I'm like, good. Don't.
Right.
Like, there's no Instagram monster that's coming to your house like, you got to do this. Like, I mean.
Right, but everything's an exchange.
Go ahead, Tracy.
Okay, so
Everything is an exchange, Trace.
if Mark Zuckerberg
Yes.
called you up and said, yo, Gary, what do you think about Kanye asking me to borrow money? What do you think about me investing in him? Would he be a liability if I put my stamp of approval? What would you say?
I would say if you can get the right interest on that money, you should take it because I think Kanye will be able to amass that wealth over the rest of his life.
He said he in debt. Oh, over his life?
I think, and I obviously saw that, but I haven't been following the story. I think I heard somewhere that he's referring to the clothing company more so than him personally, right? Is that true?
Yeah.
Probably.
I don't know. Listen,
Those furs.
Kanye's on an interesting kick. Like, I'm real fascinated to see what happens with him over the next 3 to 5 years. He's playing a lot of different games right now.
Yeah.
And he's a real clever storyteller. I mean, back to the earlier question, he's not worried about the transactional stuff. He's doing a lot of stuff for brand and awareness. He's playing that game. It'll be super interesting. The one thing I did enjoy that happened recently with him, and I hear it, is he's trying to force people to consume his stuff on Tidal, and the market will always fight when you tell them how you have to consume your stuff.
Word.
Always. And that's the most interesting thing that's happened, not the tweet.
Got it.
All right, man. Citizens, we can't get to you. It's just too many. Gary,
Sorry,
you blew up the
citizens.
phone
I see
lines.
it.
Look at this.
I feel
Two
bad.
in Chicago.
I feel
Boogie
sorry.
and
Boogie, Chicago. Sorry, Denver.
Craig in Boston.
sorry.
Cliff in Dallas.
Cliff in Dallas.
Giselle can't even get to this, but it's a
Giselle, sorry.
516 number, so that's probably Long Island somewhere. Leave your voicemails, and we'll get to them and play them at the end of the show. Even if you want to give Gary a shout out, just leave your voicemails. We'll play it. Gary, where can people reach you?
Twitter.com/GaryVEE. That's who I am on Instagram as well. Facebook.com/Gary, Gary.
Kelly, this was really, really dope. Where can people reach you?
You can reach me on Twitter, Kelly Kinkaid, on all platforms, KELLY KINKAID. Do your research. Check Gary out on all his platforms. You got to ask Daily Gary V.
Yes.
You can stay up
Ask
on him.
Gary V on YouTube. Good
Yeah.
show. I like
Tracy
it.
G, let people know where they can reach you as well,
Trace.
because you like to snap.
Yes, I do. I'm a Snapaholic. Find me. Well, since we're mentioning Snapchat, find me on Snapchat. It's Tracy G Snaps. Twitter, Instagram. It's Tracy G.
Citizens, Michael K. Williams, he's up next on Sway in the Morning, Shade 45.
It's Sway in the morning. Only
On Shade 45.